I wrote this piece for a show in town called the Dollar Store Show. It's what I stole the idea of for the encyclopedia show. It was basically they send you an item purchased at a dollar store, and you have a month to write a piece. And the item I got is this little. Do you guys know what a beer koozie is? Yeah. It's America. I got a beer koozie, but that was also a T-shirt. So you would put like this T-shirt over your bottle, and it was also very patriotic. And so I wrote this piece for that. It's called Eulogy for Tiny Stephen. And so if you could, I did, basically, it's about who could actually wear that T-shirt. What person would fit in such a small T-shirt, and also that person has died. This is called Eulogy for Tiny Stephen. Thank you all for coming. It's really very touching. Now that Tiny Stephen is gone, I am left with so much. So many lessons and memories, so many friends. But of course the biggest thing I am left with is Tiny Stephen's house. The exact replica of my own that he and I built together in my backyard, every aspect identical to the original, but tiny. It was all tiny for Stephen. It was all for Tiny Stephen. I am also left with so much unfinished, our failed prototype turtle saddles, the little zipline system from my roof to everywhere. We were days from completing the mini space rocket, unresolved conversations, plans, intentions. I haven't even told the turtles that he's gone yet. Yes, I'm left with a lot. Tiny Stephen talked with me at great length regarding his mortality. Both of us knew he was highly susceptible to the lightest of nighttime flooding and eagle attack. Not to mention all those gawkers with their medical experiments, deluding themselves that the best way to live one's life is to understand it entirely, to dissect every tiny wonder invisible. Basically, this funeral surprises no one, least of all Tiny Stephen. He told me, Robbie, when I'm gone, you can give the Tiny Stephen Ranch to your daughters for their dolls to live in. He told me, Robbie, when I'm gone, you can distribute my ashes evenly among the pepper shakers at the Golden Nugget. He told me, Robbie, when I'm gone, you can use all my shirts as beer koozies, returning them to their original purpose. I'll just want your life to return to original purpose. And I'd say, sweet Tiny Stephen, I'm sure the girls will love the upgrade for their Bratz dolls. I'd say, sweet Tiny Stephen, I will gladly feed you piece by sweet piece to that lovely mass of hobo skilleteers at the Golden Nugget. I'd say, sweet Tiny Stephen, I cannot use your shirts as beer koozies because, first of all, I believe there is dignity in rapidly warming beer, and I believe that once a thing exceeds the usefulness of its original purpose, it can never return to its intended mundanity. And I believe, sweet Tiny Stephen, that I could not swallow beer that emerges from a hole where once your singing and laughing head sat, where once so much life bubbled forth. That would really creep me out. He wouldn't force the issue. We'd hug and go to bed. Did you know Tiny Stephen could do chin-ups forever? It's true, something about his tiny physiology. He could just go up and down for days and days. I told him we should make a website, call it regularsizeStephenDoesChinUpsForever.com. It'd just be a live feed of him, doing chin-ups forever, eating his power bars and drinking his pomegranate juice. We'd sell ads, t-shirts, have him answer live questions to prove it wasn't a hoax that this regular-sized person could do chin-ups up and down forever. He said he didn't want to do it for strangers. That people would find out he was tiny, and then they'd come for him, angry and vindictive, and then they'd start with the medical experiments. It was always with the medical experiments. I wouldn't force the issue. I told him that I have recurring dreams of heaven since way before I met him, way before he moved in, way before, and all that heaven was to me in my sleep was chin-ups forever. Honestly, or sometimes it was push-ups, or sometimes it was an elaborate and endless monkey bar apparatus, and I would just swing from my arms with ease forever, and I woke up, but it was implied in the dream that it was for forever. I think we'd both trade our heavens for our old reality. Watching him go up and down for days was heaven enough. And that's why he'd do it for so long. He was just giving me my slumber heaven. And I'd just laugh and laugh. Laugh and laugh. Up and down. I'd just laugh and laugh. He'd never get tired. It was incredible. It was implied that it was for forever. I won't force the issue. There's a biological imperative in us to protect the adorable. A cave person lives inside me and tells me subconsciously not to leave cute things alone or they will die. When I first met Tiny Stephen at that taping of the Antiques Roadshow, when he burst naked out of his little magical sarcophagus backstage, the caveman woke up inside me, the ancient communing with the more ancient, and I immediately hid him from the cameras, wrapped him in my Nana's authentic smallpox blanket, which was worth a surprising amount of money. And I took Tiny Stephen home with me, but years pass, and we no longer live in caves and die in pharaoh-cursed pyramids. We live in cities. Our problems are modern. I stopped protecting Stephen because he was cute. I protected him because he was myself. Another human, albeit small. And his survival became my own sublimated. Good luck in your tiny heaven, Tiny Stephen. May you ride elephants and roller coasters for the first time. May you have sex with giants. May you eat a burrito as big as my head. And while I'm wishing wishes for you, may you finally be too heavy for something. May you push through those clouds and come home to me. May you fall through the sky and come home, Tiny Stephen. I'll leave a tiny light on. Whoa.